August 1st, 1981, 12:01 in the morning, a cable television channel that almost nobody can watch is about to launch. MTV Music Television, the opening image, the Apollo 11 moon landing, an astronaut. The American flag on the lunar surface, but the flag changes, transforms, becomes the MTV logo. A voice announces, "Ladies and gentlemen, rock and roll," and then a music video. The first video ever broadcast on MTV. Video killed the radio star by the Buggles. It's an ironic choice. Almost nobody is watching, and MTV launches in only a handful of cable markets. Fewer than 2 million homes can receive the signal. A tiny experiment, a long shot, something that probably won't last, and yet, within years, MTV will transform music, will transform television, will transform what it means to be a musician. I'm Keith Conrad, and this is Sidequests. Today, MTV, August 1st, 1981, how a midnight launch on a little-watched cable channel became one of the most influential forces in pop culture. How music became something you watched as much as something you heard. And how one innovation changed everything. For MTV, music was primarily an audio experience. You heard music on the radio, in your car, at home, on your Walkman. You saw musicians on television occasionally, a guest appearance on a talk show, an award show performance, the Ed Sullivan Show. But seeing a musician wasn't the primary way you experienced music. Hearing them was. Musical talent was about your voice, your instrument, your ability to perform. Music videos existed. Some artists had made promotional films. Queen did, ABBA did. They were relatively uncommon, particularly in America. But they existed. But there was no dedicated outlet for them. No place to watch music videos 24 hours a day. Radio stations played songs. Television stations played dramas and comedies and sports. Nobody had created a television network dedicated entirely to music videos. Until 1981, Warner Communications and American Express joined forces. A strange partnership, they created MTV Music Television, built specifically for the rapidly growing cable television market. The idea was simple. Launch a network. Play music videos 24 hours a day. Use video jockeys to introduce the songs, but nobody was sure it would work. Record labels didn't understand it. Why would anyone watch music videos all day? They asked. Cable companies were skeptical. Why would anyone pay for yet another channel? MTV executives themselves weren't certain they had a viable business. It was a gamble, an experiment, something that probably wouldn't work. Then August 1st, 1981 arrived. Midnight. The network went live. The opening sequence was perfect. Apollo 11 moon landing footage, an astronaut, a flag being planted, except the flag transforms. The American flag becomes the MTV logo. It was a statement. Television and music had entered a new era. Then came the first video. Video killed the radio star by the Buggles. It wasn't chosen because it was the biggest hit of the moment. It was chosen because the title perfectly symbolized what MTV was trying to do. Radio made music stars. Television was going to make video stars. And instead of traditional DJs, MTV introduced something new. Video jockeys. Personalities who became celebrities themselves. But MTV had a serious problem. There weren't enough music videos. Very few artists had actually made promotional films. MTV had only a limited library of videos to work with. So they repeated them. The same clips played over and over, sometimes multiple times in a single day. Early MTV playlists were dominated by rock music, new wave, British acts, partly because British artists had embraced promotional videos earlier than American musicians. There was also criticism, valid criticism, that MTV gave little airtime to black artists during its early years. Despite the enormous influence of black musicians on popular music and pop culture, that imbalance would become impossible to ignore when one of the most important artists in history decided to make his music video. Fast forward to 1983. I'm alive now, and Michael Jackson releases Billie Jean. CBS Records reportedly pressures MTV to add it to rotation because MTV's early programming had been criticized for racial bias. MTV adds it. And something extraordinary happens. The video becomes a massive success. It explodes. People can't stop watching it. Soon after, Beat It. Another Jackson video, another massive success, then Thriller, the video that changes everything. Thriller isn't just a music video. It's a short film, a narrative, dance choreography, cinematic storytelling. It's 5 minutes and 59 seconds long, but it feels like a mini movie, and people watch it over and over. MTV plays it constantly. It becomes the network's signature moment. With Michael Jackson's success, something fundamental shifts. Musicians are no longer judged only on their songs, not just on their voices, not just on their instrumental talent. Now image matters, fashion matters, what you wear, how you present yourself, dance matters, choreography, physical expression, cinematography matters, how the video is shot, edited, what story it tells. Music becomes a visual medium, not just an audio one. Musicians have to think like directors, have to work with choreographers, have to develop a visual identity as important as their musical identity. MTV's influence spreads beyond music. Advertising changes. Commercials start looking like MTV videos, fast cuts, bold graphics, high-energy visuals. Film editing changes. Filmmakers adopt the MTV aesthetic. Shortcuts, quick pacing, visual storytelling, fashion changes. MTV helps dictate what's cool, what's in style, what young people wear. Television production changes. Everything begins to incorporate the MTV look, the MTV energy, and artists that understand this new visual medium explode. Madonna, Prince, Bon Jovi, Duran Duran, these aren't just musicians. They're visual artists. They understand that their image is as important as their music. By the late 1980s, not having a music video is almost unthinkable for a serious artist. If you want to be famous, you need a music video. A good one. MTV launched on August 1st, 1981, reaching almost nobody. It seemed like a failed experiment. Instead, it reshaped an entire industry, changed how music is created, changed how musicians are perceived, changed what celebrity means. Today, we take for granted that music is something we watch as much as we hear. Every performance clip on YouTube, every TikTok video with music, every live stream concert, every visual album, they all trace back to MTV, to August 1st, 1981, to a tiny cable channel that launched just after midnight with an ironic song about how video killed the radio star. August 1st, 1981, midnight, a moon landing with an MTV flag, a music video by the Buggles. Almost nobody watched. The network was tiny, uncertain, unlikely to succeed, and yet, within a decade, MTV had transformed music, transformed television, transformed culture. Musicians had to become visual artists, had to think about their image, had to understand that they were competing not just musically, but visually. MTV didn't invent the music video, but it transformed it into the defining art form of the 1980s, and it turned musicians into visual icons as much as musical ones. That's the legacy of MTV, the day music became something you watched. I'm Keith Conrad. Thanks for listening to Sidequests.